Just tell me a little bit about Bitcoiners of Southwest Florida and what all that's about.
Sure. Bitcoiners of Southwest Florida was started in 2014. Basically, I started a meetup group, and it's grown now to over 322 people throughout Southwest Florida. So we meet twice a month.
And what do you guys talk about, like when you meet up?
We talk about everything cryptocurrency. So most of the people that will show up usually get 25% that are brand new, and then the rest of the folks are actually investing now in digital currency. So the conversation is always started, it's a 2.5-hour meeting. So the first hour we discuss a topic, we choose a topic, and then after that the advanced people will move into another room and the beginners stay with us and learn about cryptocurrency.
And when you started in 2014, it's certainly nothing like it is now.
Oh, sorry, no. In 2014, it was a group of about 8 people that got together, and
it's hardly known, right?
Yeah, it was hardly known at the time, but we were very enthusiastic about it. It was a brand new thing to the economy, so but it's grown now, quite significantly.
You're probably getting tons of people reaching out, like, what is this? Like, how do I get involved? How do I make money? Because no one wants to work for the rest of their life.
Yeah, that's part of it, but also, the fact that it's risen so much in value. One Bitcoin, for instance, so maxed out at around $20,000 at the end of 2017. So that drove a lot of attention to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
And just for people who may have heard of Bitcoin and may have heard of just like this crazy thing that people are making money on, could you just simplify what is Bitcoin for dummies, what's cryptocurrency, and just like
Sure. Well, Bitcoin is considered a digital currency, but there's a lot of other cryptocurrencies. So when you talk about digital currencies, there's many others. In fact, there's over 1,400 of them right now that you can purchase, and so there's a lot of choices when it comes to digital currency.
And what are the differences, and like why would you choose one over another?
There's so many differences in the types of digital currency that there are right now because some of them act differently. For instance, Bitcoin is considered a digital currency, but then there's also what's called Ethereum or Ethercoin. That is built to create smart contracts. There's a Ripple coin that enables banking institutions to utilize cryptocurrency or digital currency to send money and wire transfers. So there's all different applications to all different cryptocurrencies.
When I tell you stories, and I'm sure you were telling me stories of people who made a ton of money in just such a short amount of time. And when I tell you this story of a guy who made $1 million in 2 years, like that's something that is you believe, like that can happen.
Oh yeah, we've seen it happen many times. I actually went to a Bitcoin conference in 2014 in Miami and met a whole bunch of very young people because the digital currency or cryptocurrency community is full of a lot of young people. So you see a lot of young people that are making a lot of money.
So it's not absurd. And what's interesting is there's a lot of these young people who, from what I've been seeing, are choosing, are seeing some other young people and their friends doing this, and they're choosing to maybe not go to college or maybe end college or drop out of college early.
Please don't do that.
Because I'm just telling you, from what I've seen and from people I've heard from, that to kind of pursue what they see their friends are doing and are successful doing. What do you think of that? What do you say to these people?
I would say definitely get your education. I will say on our radar, because we look at news all the time, we watch news feeds, we do see a lot of people, young people, that are changing their majors and focusing on blockchain technology, because all of what you see as far as digital currencies are built on what's called the blockchain. That's a software program that was created in 2009. There are now some cryptocurrencies that don't use the blockchain, but the blockchain is primarily used for a lot of digital currencies. So we have seen a major trend of young people changing their majors to focus on blockchain. That is a segment of the economy right now that's highly desirable. So the average person that knows how to do blockchain technology is earning about $100 an hour.
Wow. for people who are, trading cryptocurrencies and things like that, is there a higher risk, would you say, in getting involved in that or stocks? Is it comparable?
So when you are investing in stocks, that is a total different entity than digital currency, because stocks are regulated and digital currency is not regulated, it's unregulated. So there is risk involved in both, but you have to do your due diligence. So definitely want to go to meetups like we have, you definitely want to go to YouTube, read about digital currency, understand the technology behind it, and then if you are going to invest in any of those digital currencies, make sure you understand who's behind it. Who are the CEOs, for instance, and what value is that digital currency bringing to the economy? So you can reap the benefits of digital currency and make a lot of money, but you really need to concentrate on what you're passionate about. That is the actual benefit of digital currency, because you can invest in currencies that you feel good about investing in.
What do you tell people who are afraid that this is just going to end up becoming a bubble and bursting?
I chuckle because I've heard this ever since I started. Even with my Bitcoin group in 2014, I was actually interviewed by a reporter, and they, "Aren't you afraid? Aren't you scared?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm not afraid at all." In Japan right now, and they consider Bitcoin and digital currency an actual currency. So that is happening around the globe. Regulations are falling in place for all digital currencies, because now that they see the value so high that a lot of these governments want to get their hands around that actual entity so they can earn money off of it, right?
Do you believe that we would eventually get to that point?
Absolutely. Right now, actually, our government, the United States government, sees Bitcoin and digital currency as considered a property or an asset.
What do you recommend people who are looking into it, who are on the fence about investing and maybe have never done it before?
Definitely make sure that you attend meetups, that you look at Google really close, you Google on any of these things, you look at videos. Just don't blindly go into cryptocurrency and throw money at it, because that is the way you lose money. If you do not look at what you're investing in and you decide just to throw money at Bitcoin, for instance, without really understanding the way it functions, then you're kind of just throwing money out there into the world and hoping that you'll get money back. So I always suggest to people, just like you would stocks, if you want to invest in a company, you'd look at the company. Say you want to invest in Tesla. Well, you're interested in Tesla because maybe the technology or maybe something that they're doing. The same thing works with digital currency.
So basically, bringing back the 24-year-old, if someone sees a story like that, $1 million in 2 years, and they wonder to themselves, can I make that much through a cryptocurrency? You also used Forex. What would you tell them if they wonder, can I also?
Absolutely. You absolutely can make a lot of money. You can absolutely do it, but you really need to understand how those people got to that point, right? So maybe this person that you're talking about invested in Bitcoin, but maybe he understands more about other digital currencies, moved maybe his Bitcoin into some of those digital currencies in order to capitalize on the fact that they're new to the economy, and they started very low in value and now they've increased greatly in value. So you have to realize in 2017, for instance, that Bitcoin was at $1,000 in January, and then in December it was at $20,000. So a lot of folks made a lot of money. However, there were many other little smaller cryptocurrencies that grew by 5,000%, even some by 7,000% or more.
So can you project the growth, or will that growth be the same? Will it be less? Could people lose money? What are the risks involved?
Absolutely. You can definitely lose money. So you want to make sure that you are looking at these cryptocurrencies very closely. They are very volatile. And the reason they're volatile is they're very reactive to news. So if something happens, let's say in China, and they crack down on Bitcoin cryptocurrency exchanges, you'll often see the value drop. And then as they get the regulations in place, the value will go back up. So that is something that we are very aware of as investors. We're like, okay, there's a news out in South Korea. Well, that's going to affect our pricing, So, and as it stands right now, even today, we saw a drastic drop in all cryptocurrencies. And the reason being is because South Korea is now looking closely at those exchanges. They want to make sure that they can tax that and make some money from it.
How long has Bitcoin and cryptocurrency been around? A lot of people are hearing for the first time, but this has been around for a while.
Yes, 2009. 2009 is when the blockchain software was released, and then directly after that, they built Bitcoin on top of it. So it was the first one that was introduced. But consequently after that, now we have over 1,400 of them.
Wow. Tell me about your decision to accept Bitcoin as a currency in your nonprofit.
That's actually how I got started. I was marketing my business for the Florida Native Butterfly Society here at the Butterfly Estates. Our goal really is to protect butterflies and for the future. And I was online and I was looking at how to market my business, and I saw all of these things coming up about Bitcoin, and I was like, well, what's that? Let me see what that's about. And that's how I actually got very interested in it. And then directly after that, went to a conference in Miami, a Bitcoin conference, met all of these really great people, and then realized how easy it was to take. But the most important thing about my decision was to tap into a crowd that maybe wouldn't have come to my facility to begin with. And I really wanted to attract a younger demographic, and I knew that these folks were using Bitcoin, and I thought, well, this is a great way to get them to come to my facility.
You believe you're the first or the only in Southwest Florida?
At the time, I was one of the first people to accept cryptocurrency. I took it for everything. I took it for my gift shop, for my cafe, for my conservatory entrance, and so I was I listed all my businesses, on what's called coinmap.org, and that showed the world that I take Bitcoin.
Wow. Can you see what other businesses locally do that as well?
Sure, yeah, you can go on coinmap.org and you can see all the rest of the businesses that accepts it.
That's cool.
Yeah. The other thing is during this process, we've created our own news network. So we have bitcoincrypto.news, and I work with 4 other guys very close to really get the message out. One is Clifford Mitchem. He does our education. So he does a Bitcoin 101 class downtown Fort Myers at the Rocket Lounge. And then we also have Mike Chandler, who works in mining or crypto mining. So he's very knowledgeable. We have Tyler Lalou. He helps us with marketing, getting our message out. And then we have Jeremy, and he is Jeremy Barnett, and he just focuses on recording all of our sessions so we can share that with the world through our YouTube channel and other places.
Awesome. I'll definitely point to people to that too. Do you ever recommend people to consult a financial advisor for stuff like this, or
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There's tax implications involved when you have digital currency. Let's say you want to trade from Bitcoin to Ethereum. That is actually a taxable event. So you definitely want to talk to your professional, your tax professional that's helping you with your business, and you have to be conscious of what the IRS considers a taxable event when it comes to these things.
Cool. Anything else you'd like to add that we didn't touch on?
Can't think of anything that you might want to need. Is there anything I missed?
Well, I would expound on the taxable event. A lot of people actually got in trouble, and there's some people even went to jail early in the beginning because they weren't keeping track of their taxes, and that's probably the most dangerous aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean you make all this money, but you gotta.
If you don't pay your capital gains tax, you can spend a lot of time in jail for skipping out on that. And a lot of people think they're being slick because a lot of this is off the books because it's not regulated. And I always recommend everybody just put aside 30%. If your tax man says, oh, you only have to pay 18, great. You're already prepared. You just pocket the other 12. But safety first. Put aside 30%, particularly if you have a big win. Like if you turn a couple thousand into a couple million, put it in now. Tell yourself from the beginning, I have to give 30%.
Helicopter.
Exactly. Be smart.
Yeah.
That's what can really get people in trouble.
Because they could come to you and say, hey, you have Bitcoin, how much do you have? And they look into your financials, just want to protect yourself.
You'll probably be regulated at some point.
Eventually it will. I have no
We're getting
doubt.
really close.
Yeah. But they've been pretty hands off, which is very, very welcoming from the standpoint of the IRS and the government. They've been very hands off on Bitcoin itself and treating it as a property. But once they look at it as a security or a currency, it's going to change the game.
Is there an exchange on the?
There's over 8,000 exchanges in the world. The main one to look at is called Coinbase, and that's basically like the lobby of a hotel. It's how everybody enters the crypto world, and that's where you change your US dollars into Bitcoin, and then from there you use your Bitcoin to go into any of the other currencies.
You're starting to get into a whole different world.
Right, and I'm trying not to get too much into it, but that's the beginning. Main thing is sticking.
It's a very easy jump.
Yeah.
And how did you get involved?
Well, I've actually been following Bitcoin since it came out in 2009. And I've always just followed stories and kept up with it as far as the technology and its advancement. And then when it had the big jump in 2017, I actually made the dive into investing in it and took the small amount I had and turned it into a double-digit return. Not the most impressive, but it was pretty significant in the sense that I took a couple thousand and turned it into double digits.
And ever since you've just been playing the game?
I've been playing more and more, and I've actually developed a plan that is the simplest way for people to actually get into cryptocurrency and the safest way. So it's the least complicated way so that people can invest in it and begin their pathway to becoming a cryptocurrency investor.
So you do the education 101 for completely branded people. So
Correct. I take you from zero to investor.
So in a very simple,
Yeah.
because I know this could be an hours long thing.
Right.
Like how would you tell someone who's on their couch watching, like how they can maybe not go to investor, but go into
Right.
at least more education?
Yeah, when I say investor, I mean actually trading and going into different currencies. But if somebody that just wants to get cryptocurrency and hold it, which has actually performed better than my trading, so I'm working more on a buy and hold strategy, they would open an account with an exchange called Coinbase. And Coinbase is available throughout the United States. There are a few areas that you can't get it, but you would open an account with Coinbase, use your credit or debit card, start with $100, and just let it sit. They'll hold on to it for you, and you can watch it increase or changes, I should probably say, as it goes up and down and fluctuates, because it is volatile. And from there, just hold on to it and just watch what its performance does.
Gotcha. Is there a way to know more I guess you touched on that a little bit more too, is watching like how other countries are.
Correct. And a lot of that's just paying attention to the news. There's no single source to get information on what's going on in the crypto world, so you have to get an amalgam of what's out there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, standard mainstream news are all locations that are going to have information about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and all of them affect the value of it. Plus, each coin has a development team that's putting out information and changes to it.
What else do you emphasize for brand new people?
Get used to fluctuation, because this stuff goes wildly. Particularly this week, cryptocurrency is down some 30-40% for most coins. If somebody's not used to that, they start to panic. This is what cryptos do. They go down 30-40% and then they shoot up 100%. But the main thing is, when you look at their historical performance, it's always moved up higher than where it started when it fell. And rule number one in crypto, don't use money that you need. Case in point, people, if they use their red money, and all of a sudden crypto goes down and they go to take it out, they're taking it out at a loss. And in the crypto world, one thing I teach as far as is mentality. You got to understand, it's not a matter of profit and gain, it's up and down. You only lose if you take out money when it's down. If you're patient and let it go back up, you can recoup, in most cases. But past performance is no guarantee of future performance. And I'm not a financial advisor, so I am talking about educational purposes and what I do with my funds, but that I have to put out that disclaimer, because I'm not regulated by SEC, I'm just a guy that learned some things, and I'm passing on what I've figured out.
So it's not like you give people specific advice.
Correct.
You just kind of give people and guide people, on the whole field and how they can.
Exactly. Opening an account. Easiest thing. What to expect? Easiest thing. What coin to get? I kind of stay away from that. But the main thing is, once you enter that world and you research and learn about it, you'll figure it out. It's not complicated. And as you pointed out, many people have made tremendous amounts. But the thing is, get in. Whatever savings you have, if you have that savings left just sitting in US dollars, it's not going anywhere. If you put a portion of that into cryptos and that cryptocurrency takes off like Bitcoin has been doing, you could have a significant return. And particularly with a small investment.
And it doesn't take long.
Most cases it doesn't. Like, if you look at Bitcoin's performance between January and December, it's gone up over 1,800%. And that's just in last year. So if you put $100 in Bitcoin, you can multiply it by 1,816%. So $100 would turn into 1,800.
But that's not to say at the end of this year we're going to have that same return.
Don't know, but if you leave that $100 as USD, I can guarantee at the end of the day, you'll only have $100.